correct. Welcome to episode 58, I believe. That's with Summary Sports. Today
You never get this right.
Yeah, no, we never do. April 28th and May 26th on a stormy Tuesday afternoon. I guess it is just God taunting me with the thunder sweep over the Suns. No sun, all thunder. I'm your host, Will Spain, former alongside for the Detroit Chargers. I'll speak up partially Houston Cougars. Joined by my side, former offensive lineman for the Henry College Warriors, current man of electricity, speaking of, Luke Wallman, and joined virtually in that beautiful USA kit from Houston, Texas, man, the myth, the legend, former kicker for the Houston Christian Huskies and Detroit Chargers, current nephew of Georgia Tech men's basketball coach, Scott Cross. Chase Cross. Let's get into it, boys. There's a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. We got the Oilers game tonight. We got the Wild Stars on now. Everybody wants to watch their team play. Let's get into it. College baseball picks of the week recap. NASCAR Talladega recap. Man, it was a wonderful weekend at Talladega. 3 absolute great races from ARCA to the O'Reilly to the Cup. NBA playoffs. We do have a series final. I will go into that a little bit. NHL playoff recap. I'll go into that a lot. We do have some final series in there, though. NFL draft reactions. 3 winners, 3 losers. Also, with our Cowboys draft reactions, everybody on the pod, even the producer, we're all Cowboys fans. Breaking news. So we're going to give our reactions for the Cowboys draft. UCL predictions, Champions League, semifinals. It's time. MLB power rankings, MLB Dude of the Week, a.k.a. the Duties Awards. Swiss Army 5, top 5 World Cup jerseys, and best of the weekend. Guys, let's just dig right into it. It was an amazing week for everybody in the baseball pick'ems. Texas A&M, Florida. 2-1 Texas A&M. They won the game on Sunday. Props to the Aggies. Luke, Michael, and Chase getting it right. I had Florida. Solid pitching all around. Great SEC series. As was this Oklahoma-Auburn series, man. I was in Auburn this weekend. The vibes were absolutely electric around the baseball team. They get a 2-1 series when they lost that Saturday game. I believe I made like a long stretch of a parlay there that raised some eyebrows that almost hit. So Auburn gets a series win 2-1. The Georgia Dogs, weird series between these two teams. So they played a doubleheader on Saturday. Ole Miss got the better of Georgia in the first one. Georgia got the better of Ole Miss in the second one, which ended up going like 14 innings. They ended up playing like 9 hours of baseball on Saturday, which was cool to watch, at least. And then on Sunday, the Georgia Dogs laid the hammer on the Ole Miss Rebels. I anticipated then. They laid the hammer on my Troy Trojans today. Dear God, 11-1. Troy's going to miss the tournament. Let's win the SEC baseball tournament. That's fine. Everybody was on Georgia except Chaser. He took the Rebs. Mistake. Coastal wins their series 2-1 against Texas State. We were all in Coastal. Mercer sweeps the Wofford Terriers. Everybody was on Mercer except the producer. He had Wofford. TCU Houston. I've got to pull. I can't. Oh, here. 3-0. 3-0 series win. 3-0.
Go Frogs.
I was home a little bit. Me and the producer at Houston. Luke and Chase at TCU. It was a 3-0 series sweep for the Horned Frogs. And then the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, baby, got the job done. 3-0 against the LSU Tigers. Unbelievable series on Friday. They handled business Sunday, put a little belt to ass. But on Friday, it was a walk-off bomb and extras. And then on Saturday, they had a grand slam in the 7th, tied up 7-7, ended up winning by 1. And the Minnesota Wild net another goal to go up 2-1 on the Dallas Stars in the first period. Electric first, 12 seconds left in that first. That's a brutal goal to give up. Another bad rebound give up by Ottinger, man. That's been a problem all series. And something we can talk about when we get to the NHL playoff recap. It's leaderboard. Hey! Me and Luke, man, we're just fighting not to be at the bottom here. And I'm glad one of us is up top here on the in the actual studio. Yeah, we don't perform well here in the studio.
The reason we're doing the 999 challenge.
Amen, brother. And man, it's gonna be fun to watch those Redbirds, especially just wasted
with $2 beers.
Now FanDuel covers AAA baseball. Oh my God! Oh y'all better be. Auto part better be warned. Chasers in second, 35-17, and me and Michael are tied in third in a game behind. Let's NASCAR. Dude, we almost had this one. Cletus McFarland was leading this race. Ended up getting past the 71 car. Can't even remember who won that. I was pissed, man. Cletus had that shit. They had a video of him, Cletus, Marshawn Lynch, and Noah Gregson riding go-karts with each a handle of Jack, it seemed, in the infield.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty electric. Chase came in 26 in the Arca series. Now we can talk about something I actually know about. Dude, Corey Day got the job done with the 17 card, baby. A little P1 for old Willie over here. Sheldon Creed, so close yet again, came in third. Not a great race from Austin Hill. 13th, just kind of got shuffled back in the pack there at the end. But the Ag Pro 300 was great. But I mean, we got to talk about. Look, my favorite driver is Ricky. Childhood. But my favorite, like I'm a fan of Carson Hocevar, baby. Ride the Dente, the Intimidente. Brother won his first race in NASCAR. Did his victory lap out the car.
Which was pretty
wrecked
sweet.
it.
In the chili spot.
Floored it after he put it in the wall. I mean, electric shit from Carson Hocevar, dude. Ricky came in 6th, though. Damn good race in the 47 car. Had a chance at the end. Chef Boyardee car didn't get a push at the end on that last lap. Everybody was being kind of a wuss. Didn't want to make a move. He wanted to make a move. Didn't get followed up. Came in 6th. And then Luke and Chase got wrecked out early by old Bubba Wallace, man. Took out half the field, man. Which, by the way, Hocevar was technically involved in that wreck and won the race.
Which I like. I didn't really like. I've obviously just started watching NASCAR. It looked like someone hit him. I didn't.
Oh
think
no. So in those drafting tracks, it really wasn't Bubba's fault. Bubba just
okay.
but Bubba just doesn't know how to lead.
Okay,
He doesn't, and this was shown at Daytona. He does not know how to lead on the super speedways. He got bumped. He can't handle when he gets an extra push. Got loose, turned up. I mean, it just happens. It just happens. Luke had Larson, who came in 40th. Chaser with who I actually thought was going to win, Ryan Blaney, who came in 37th. Man, just 2 tough early exits there from the Jack Links 500. All right, let's get this. Let's get the sweeps over with. Colorado, Chase and Luke, you've been watching as well. They got their shit together. By the way, they called that goal back.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, they called that goal back. So 1-1. Colorado got their.
I'm
shit
watching
together.
it. Trust me, I'm watching it.
Colorado got
I've got eyes on it.
Colorado got their shit together. Ended up sweeping the Kings. Sad for Anze Kopitar. As much as I hate the Kings, I admire Anze Kopitar as a player. Really hard-nosed, gritty veteran. That's how it goes out. Sweep in 4 games. At least got to go out on home ice, I guess. I don't know if that makes it any worse.
Could have been the Predators.
Yeah, facts. It would have been way worse. Actually, I bet Nashville steals a game, to be honest with you. I thought they were a little bit better than the Kings this year. I definitely thought Ottawa was going to steal a game. 4-0 Carolina. And here's the thing.
Every single game was competitive, though.
Yeah, every single game was competitive. Because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you disagree, I feel like Ottawa really hampered down on the defensive side of the game. They really played their defensemen back. And I think that just created a lack of offensive generation from the Senators.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only take so much from this Carolina team defensively before you crack. And that's why we were seeing these 2-1, 3-1 empty net games. I thought, Omar played great. I thought he finally got his crap together in the playoffs. The big question mark right now for Ottawa is Brady Tkachuk. He's unhappy about living in Canada basically during the season. So he's got 2 years left on his contract. We'll have to see what happens there. I was, as I do a lot, I listen to a Edmonton Oilers show, which is on the radio in Edmonton, but it's on YouTube. That's how I stream it. They were concerned about this on behalf of the Senators. One of the guys for Daily Faceoff, very reliable hockey source, good follow on Instagram. A little free shout out for them. He's concerned about it. He thinks Brady Tkachuk is basically good as gone. Kind of like how Matthew was in Calgary, kind of like how Quinn Hughes was in Vancouver. It kind of starts to seem to be a trend, and then he thinks Austin Matthews is next with Toronto, which I thought was very interesting. But back to the playoffs, that's what we're covering here.
Huge.
And Chase and Luke, y'all can weigh in on this. Carolina's going to get a lot of rest. With the way Philly has kind of started to fumble this series, I think we got the Canes, and I think we have at least one half our Eastern Conference final. I mean, should be said. It should be Carolina, and they now historically have fumbled big time in the second round, especially the last 5 years. What do y'all get from this Carolina team, and do you think they are basically a shoe-in to go to the Eastern Conference?
I've been up with hockey a bunch, but I do know they're usually the best team in the NHL, and they always lose fairly early. But, I mean, I know I'm assuming it's way more of a stressor, like say, which it obviously is compared to the NBA 7 games than having to play 7 games in hockey. So I do think that series goes to 7. I mean, the Pens have looked a lot better in their last 2 wins or whatever. So I mean, Philly was supposed to win. What, they played at home last night? Philly?
Yeah, so no, they yes, no, they played in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And there's a text, and we'll all talk about it when we go to that series. But I called this shit. If Philly does win in Game 6, I called it game by game, which is kind of nuts. But go ahead.
But yeah, no, I don't think they're a shoe-in just because they have not played well, and this Pittsburgh team or Philly Flyers team could easily upset them.
Here's the thing: if Philly goes and wins Game 6, and Chase, I'm sure you agree with this. I mean, I think the Flyers, even though Carolina swept them, I think the Flyers are much the hotter team, and they're very much younger,
yeah.
and they are hungrier. So yeah, weigh in on that question, Chase. You've had some time to ponder about it. A minute. So
Get more analysis.
yeah, what do you think about this
All
Carolina
right.
team? How do you think the series went? We're done with Ottawa. More on Carolina now, and what do you think about their future going forward in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
I mean, if we're talking about Carolina, I think that they showed a lot of really good game management. I mean, to be fair, they were not really threatened on the offensive end. I mean, I'm gonna use a soccer term here for what Ottawa did, but they parked the bus pretty much. I mean, they were playing in their own zone for most of the time. From most of the games I was watching that I watched at Carolina Ottawa, it looked like Carolina was in Ottawa's zone for most of the game. And so I mean they did like in hockey, there's a point, like you said, there's only so much you can take. So I thought Carolina played well enough to win. Was not necessarily blown away with what I saw. Um they just were obviously the more talented, better team, had better skaters, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, that was just like a sweep. Like they absolutely dominated in every single game. Like I felt like Colorado did, minus the first 2
I
games.
say
Like I
I honestly
think,
could say I didn't feel that way for either.
yeah, but I would say I felt better about Colorado,
100%.
especially on the last 2 games, than I did about Carolina. Like Carolina, it was like, yeah, it's a sweep, but it wasn't an impressive sweep. Now talking about the Flyers and the Penguins, I mean, like y'all said, I mean, this series is up in the air now. Still think Philly comes away with it because I do think it's hard to beat a team 4 straight games, and I
Hopefully it'll
do
happen
think
twice.
Pittsburgh will drop one. I think it'd be really hard to win 4 straight. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they have won 2, so they're red hot. But honestly, rest does play a factor. But when you're playing good hockey and the momentum you get from coming off a big win, rest doesn't matter in the playoffs. You've already played a long season. It matters, but it also, I think, if you're playing good hockey and you're in a rhythm, it really doesn't matter as much as you might think.
100%. Let's pivot to our. You just go down the board now. We've covered the sweeps. Dallas, Minnesota. Disregard what we've seen. We're obviously recording a little bit later. The game is going on. Disregarding whatever we've seen right now in Game 5. We're 2-2. Okay, Minnesota. Just call it as it is. Dominated Game 1. They did. They dominated Game 1.
Yeah.
Dallas had a absolutely, in my opinion, unbelievable response in Games 2 and 3. Really pressed the offense. Forechecked well. We're getting hits. Not taking bad penalties. Ottinger looked better, and then y'all kind of gave it away in Game 4, which I thought swept the momentum back to Minnesota, even though they're heading back to Dallas's barn.
To a degree.
I think the Mo, in terms of the series, was back with Minnesota. Again, Dallas, though, gets the comfort of being like, we're going back to our own barn, Game 5. We win this one, we're 1 away. Both teams obviously are going to be pushing very hard in this game. You want to go up 3-2.
Yeah.
Historically, if you go up 3-2, it is for the best in terms of a 2-2 series tie. Now, actually, when it's 3-1, and if it goes 3-2, it historically is kind of flipped. But especially depending on home ice. Anyway, I think this is the most. There's 2 series for me that are the most 50-50 right now, and I think if you're looking at the bracket, they're facing away from each other. They are looking dead. They are looking at each other dead in the eye. This is the best hockey we've seen out of those 2 series. Is in those 2 series. Not necessarily most exciting, but the best, most fundamental hockey is being played by Dallas, Minnesota, Tampa, and Montreal. So I ask you all this from this series: who wins it? And do you think, with the way they're playing right now, and the way this series is definitely going to go 6 or 7 games, it's already guaranteed 6. Do you think they have a formidable chance against the Colorado Avalanche? I'll go ahead and answer. I think it's Minnesota. I think they win tonight, and I think they win at home. I think they win it in 6. I don't trust Ottinger. I don't like the way he's giving up rebounds. Has nothing to do against the Dallas Stars. defensively or offensively. I think they're matched up very evenly right now. I think Wallstead is outplaying Ottinger, and I think that's what it comes down to. And I I do think Minnesota will take Colorado to at least 6 games, and they could win that series. They have the offensive firepower to do it. If Dallas wins, I think they have the exact same chance that Minnesota does. I think Colorado should be a little uncomfortable heading into the second round. Luke.
I'm going to stick with my prediction, and I'm going to pick Dallas to win in 7. And then I do think they can beat Colorado because, correct me if I'm, is Colorado like the best overall?
Yeah, they did. They won the President's Trophy, which
So-
typically comes with a curse.
Yeah. So I think that either of these teams, though, could both beat Colorado due to that curse.
Okay, Chaser.
Well, I mean, if you break it down game by game, I think game 1 was an absolute domination, just ran Dallas off the ice. But games 2, 3, and 4 have been a lot tighter.
Good
I do
games.
think Dallas has been more resilient and outplayed Minnesota for greater periods. I mean, I know Dallas won games 2 and games 3. You can say that was their bounce back, but I actually felt like watching game 4, that was the best Dallas looked all series, and it sucks that they didn't go up 3-1 because they, in that second period of game 4, I mean, they absolutely dominated Minnesota. Should have scored probably 2 or 3 goals, been up 4-1 going into the third period, and I mean, you got to give Minnesota credit. They had a great end to that third period to force OT, but man, I mean, I think Dallas could have put the series away. And so, obviously, like you said, swings the momentum back to Minnesota. But I mean, objectively, I would like to say that I see Dallas going on, but I think this series is on a knife edge right now. It could go either way. I do think Wallstead's playing better in goal. I think Quinn Hughes has been great. Boldy's looked really good. I mean, you can't really fault Minnesota. I think Kaprizov has been the only one that's been a little bit underwhelming, but I mean, they're so freaking talented, but I would say Dallas has a little bit better depth than Minnesota. Minnesota's top line is obviously, I think, could skate with any line in the playoffs right now, any top line in the playoffs, and probably be the best. But I think Dallas has the edge when you get to the third and fourth lines. They just have a little bit more depth. And that being said, I mean, that's where they're getting some of their offense. And then the other big thing to talk about is Minnesota's power play was great in game 1. And ever since game 1, their power play has been really non existent. And Dallas's penalty kill has been fantastic, which I do think it matters going down the stretch. So, I mean, I do think this goes to 7. I think Dallas wins in 7. I think it's going to be a great series. This is going to be a series we talk about for a long time because I do think whoever wins this series is going to beat Colorado because they're going to be red hot and they're going to go to a Western Conference final.
Vegas, Utah has absolutely been the most electric of these series in terms of goal scoring. I mean, an absolute banger in overtime, 5-4 last night for the Golden Knights to knot it up at 2. So we're heading back to Vegas, tied 2-2. I'm just going to cover this series in this little segment. I still think Utah is going to win.
I do too.
I think Vegas kind of stole that one last night. Although I will go ahead and preface this. I think Utah completely stole Game 3, just based off Carter Hart's very poor performance. Thought he was a little hurt at some point because he gave up 4 goals on 8 shots. Anyway, he did look better, kinda, in Game 4. I think goaltending again is another, and that's gonna be a theme across the playoffs. Is can goaltending make up for a lack of maybe offense or defense? And I just don't think it's going to help Vegas at all. I think the torch bump is kind of over, and I think Utah actually is going to win this one in 7. I think we do go 7 games here, and I think they're going to win on the road. Luke, how do you see this one going?
We'll go Utah because I think I also picked them in my predictions, and I'll go 6.
Go 6. Chase, what do you see from Utah, Vegas? I think Utah just wants it more at this point.
Utah definitely wants it more. I thought they outplayed Vegas, and I know Game 3 they did steal it a little bit, but I mean, they have a great home ice advantage right now. Fans have been great, and I mean, I thought that they've outplayed Vegas 3 out of the 4 games significantly.
Agree. I could not agree
and
more.
They started yesterday's game. First period was poor, but down the stretch, like Vegas got super lucky to win in overtime because the Mammoth, I mean, stormed back yesterday. I mean, they were out skating Vegas for the majority of that game. And I do think that, Utah, is missing a little bit of high-end star power, which I do think matters for the playoffs, but I don't think it matters in this series, and I think Utah gets past Vegas in 7.
Well, it's time to talk about it. Last time I was on this podcast, I was calling for a sweep. We have lost 3 straight games from that. The Anaheim Ducks have straight out outplayed us. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Ducks are up 3-1 on my Edmonton Oilers. One game one. Honestly, got lucky. But I thought that was the best Anaheim was going to give us. Here's the thing. I think both teams are kind of playing like shit. Both taking bad penalties. The Oilers' penalty kill has been atrocious, giving up goals 50% of the time. Power play is starting to get better. I don't know the health status of McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Ekholm. They're all obviously hurt. We may shake up some deep pairings tonight. Here is the Oilers fan of me, and honestly, even just the hockey brain of me of what the Oilers have. Ingram's getting the start tonight. I do not think the Oilers lose this game tonight. Not on home ice. I just don't think it happens. And simply because 2 of these games are 50-50 games. I mean, just if one bounce goes one way, one bounce goes another, if the correct call on the ice is made in game 4, we're 2-2 heading back to Edmonton. I mean, you can't tell me that a referee had an angle that could see that millimeter over the line. Yes, was it a goal? 100%. I'm not ignorant. However, I know the rule in hockey, and you have to be able to see it clearly, and they did not. And I don't know how they came to that agreement. Anyway, Edmonton's got to play. They haven't played. They've played like a D+ the entire series. They have had the 15 minutes in the first period was the best hockey I've seen them play this series. They were up 2-0, ended up blowing that lead. Yes, I think we're banged up. Do I think we still, even though we're banged up, have another gear? Yes. Do I think we can win this series? Yes. And here's why. You win this game. This is an Anaheim team that hadn't been in the playoffs. They haven't closed out a series. You win this game, it's 3-2, and all of a sudden, not only, yes, it's a must-win for the Oilers, obviously, from here on out, but you know that's a must-win game in Anaheim for Game 6. You know you can't go to Game 7 back in Edmonton because you are going to lose that game. You are going to lose a Game 7 in Edmonton. So if Edmonton wins tonight, this shakes the whole thing up, in my opinion. I think the Oilers are right back in it. Obviously, it's all dependent on tonight. I think they do get it done tonight. I've got the Oilers in 7. I'm just faithful, honestly, at this point. My analysis of how we played, shit. I think we've played like shit. We're turning the puck over all the time, taking bad penalties. There are spurts of really good hockey where we have been up 2-0 twice now in this series. But I do think we can get done. I'm not going to rant too much just for time's sake. Luke, then Chase, what do y'all think about Ducks and Oilers? What's going to happen?
I'm sorry, Ducks in 6.
That's fair. That's a very normal analysis of this series.
Yeah.
Chase.
I actually think that, going into the series, I think Edmonton kind of like as an Oilers fan, and I know I'm sure it's the same for your whole community, that you guys thought that this was a 4-game, 5-game series win.
Yep.
I mean,
thought it was gonna be a cakewalk.
but I got to give credit to Leo Carlson and Gauthier. I mean, they have been really freaking good for the Ducks. They have played some really good hockey. I think that the Ducks, obviously, there's defensive issues, but they've defended the Oilers well enough for their really potent attack to get going. And they really have, they have scored well. And I think that probably also looks pretty bad on Edmonton, because y'all's defense has not been great all season, like by the numbers or by any sort of metric.
Any sort of metric. But going into the playoffs, y'all had the best offense, outside of maybe Colorado in the entire NHL. So, it's been mitigated because y'all are able to score. And I think Anaheim has had a good enough plan, has done a well enough job at least slowing down the Oilers' offense enough where they can score. And so, I'm not going to put anything past this talented group of players because I think McDavid plays tonight. I just said that. He is 1,000% playing. He would have to have broken something, or he's leaving Edmonton next year if he's not playing. That's straight up.
100%. And they're too talented a group of players to go home in 5 games. I think Game 6 is the pivotal game for me. I think they win tonight, and then you get into Game 6, and that's where it really gets dicey. If they go win in Anaheim, I think that they win at home in 7. I don't think the series is lost because they do still have 2 home games with great home ice advantage. Really, it's about Game 6. So if they win Game 6, I think they're going to be good. But I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna roll with Luke here, and I'm gonna say Ducks in 6 just because of the position. But I would not be surprised if it was Oilers in 7.
Buffalo and Boston 3-1. This has been a really shocker to me, to be honest with you. I thought Boston outplayed Buffalo in games 1 and 2. They go back
Agreed.
home and they lay an egg. And Buffalo, especially in game 4, just dominates the Bruins. I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it right now because everybody knows we're recording. It is a very even game, 1-1, very even in time in ozone, even in shots, even in hits, even dead even in faceoffs. I mean, this I thought was going to be an even series. I still think Buffalo wins tonight, and it's over. So I'm going to go Sabres, period. What do you think, Luke and Chase?
I'll go Sabres win tonight. I mean, Buffalo's the only reason is
It's electric.
Absolutely electric to watch. So,
Chaser.
I agree. I got Buffalo in 5. I think that Boston had their opportunity to make this a series going back home, and I think, just that home ice advantage we talked about it does matter in the playoffs. And Buffalo fans, they've been fantastic. But I will say, I think the winner of the next series we talk about beats Buffalo in the next round. But
1000%.
I got Buffalo getting by Boston in 5.
Well, this has been an incredible series. Every game but one has gone to overtime, game 4, and I thought Montreal got hoed in game 4 with a late penalty call that I thought was phantom. I went back and watched the replay. He did flop. I mean, the high stick never touched him. Never even came close, actually. He just threw his head back.
Yep.
Good on him, though. I mean, that's high hockey knowledge. He will absolutely probably get put in the boards next game because that is
1000%.
how that happens. But I've got Montreal in 6. I think they win at Tampa and they win at home. They're definitely not losing at home. So it's either going Montreal in 6 or Montreal in 7. I just don't think I think Montreal, even though they have lost 2 games, has outplayed Tampa all 4 games. And that's just how I've seen it. I think they've wanted it more. They're just faster. Tampa obviously has the goaltender advantage, and that's why they're even in this series. I mean, that's point blank simple. And Montreal's a rookie goalie in Jakub Dobish. I mean, Cole Caulfield finally scored a goal. Y'all better watch out. I mean, the seal's been broken. I think Montreal is the absolute scariest team in the East. If I'm an Oilers fan, if we somehow made another cup run this year, which I was thinking, before obviously I think we're dead in the water, but if we win tonight, you'll hear me hoot and holler on Thursday. Montreal was the team I was scared of, 100%. I mean, they are dangerous. They are so fun to watch. It is incredible. I've got Montreal in 6. I think they absolutely go ruin the party for Tampa. I just don't think Tampa's looked that good. I think they've had good spurts of offense that they've taken advantage of and really good goaltending. Luke and Chase.
Yeah, I'll just stick with my prediction beforehand, and I'll go Montreal in 7. So,
Chaser.
I think Vasilevsky's been absolutely fantastic for Tampa Bay. And when you have a goaltender playing at this level, I do think it does, it does tilt the game a little bit in your favor. However, I think Tampa Bay has been outskated largely for good portions of the series. I mean, I think with Cole Caulfield finally finding net, I mean, like you said, the seals have been broken. I mean, I don't know how much longer they can take this onslaught. Like, Montreal has outskated Tampa Bay in all 4 games this series, and without Vasilevsky, this is a 4-game sweep, in my opinion. I don't think that's crazy to say.
Agree.
I don't think it's crazy to say now having a great goaltender. I mean, Vasilevsky, in my opinion, has been the best goaltender.
He's going to win the Vezina. Yeah, he's going to win the Vezina.
I mean, he's been fantastic. So when you have a guy like him in net, yes, that definitely makes a difference. So I think this series will go 7. And I'm going to stick with the Lightning just because of how good Vasilevsky's been. And that was my initial pick. But man, Montreal is really playing some really good hockey right now, and I would not be surprised to see if they even won in 6. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all because that's how good Montreal's been. But Vasilevsky has been, I mean, he's playing on another level right now. And when you have a goaltender playing at the level he's playing at, I mean, it just makes all the difference in the world.
Pittsburgh, Philly. I think Pittsburgh said they're fine. They got their little bump for putting Seelovs in net other than Stu Skinner. They're heading back to Philly. Philly in 6. Even in the games they've lost, I think Pittsburgh got lucky last game. Let's just be straight up about it. I mean, that goal was ridiculous. I mean, going off the backboards, off the back of his skate into the net. That's just an insane amount of puck luck. It happens in the playoffs. Just shoot it. And this is my one beef for the Oilers right now. Just shoot the puck at the net, please. I mean, that is just playoff hockey. Shoot it at the net. It's going to go in. I mean, at least 3 or 4 times. So I've got Philly in 6. They're going back home. That atmosphere is going to be insane. And I honestly, I hate to say this because I'm sure it'll be wrong now. I think they torch them in Game 6. I think they have completely outskated them. I think they are just a team that is rolling right now that Carolina should be a little timid about. Lukers, then Chase, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with what's his name? Gritty. I think they're gonna get it done in Game 6. He's gonna put a penguin through a table, and the Flyers are gonna be moving on 6.
Chaser.
The youth of this Flyers team, I thought coming into this series would be, kind of holding them back, but I think it's what's propelling them past
Opposite.
Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's an aging roster. You can kind of tell with how they're skating. Philadelphia's on fire. They're more hungry, and I think that they get it done, and I think Carolina should definitely be scared, like we said.
Porter Martone scores twice. I'm sure, but that's my little prop. I think he scores twice in Game 6. NBA playoffs. Can we just cut the bait with this one? Do y'all have anything to say about Thunder Suns? Because I've got something to fucking say.
I mean, I'm tired of the flopping.
And here's the thing: I don't watch the NBA. Chase,
this would be the whole reason for it.
This is the whole reason. I'm a Suns fan, so I'm gonna watch my team in the playoffs. I mean, hell, y'all thought it was just even anger because I knew it was gonna happen. It's like it's gonna happen. It's the WWE. I mean, it's atrocious.
They're phantom fouls. It's
so
ridiculous. And what's even worse is they're so used to getting those calls. Like if the ref actually makes a good call by like calling him out, like he doesn't even touch them, they start complaining even if they haven't gotten touched. I mean, it's shameless foul baiting. It's shameless basketball. I mean, this is why like yes, SGA is a phenomenal player. But this, in my eyes, this is why I can't even consider him top 5 because he foul baits. All he's looking for is a foul. Like that's what everybody used to get on Harden for when Harden was in the MVP races for like 3 straight years. He'd foul bait, but it was never this bad. This is flopping. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the push-offs that he gets, and then what's even worse for me. It's like, they get anytime a Thunder player gets touched on the offensive end, it's a foul. But they let Lou Dort and Alex Caruso foul the crap out of everybody else on the other end of the floor. And it's mind-blowing. Like, Lou Dort is allowed to be the most physical defender in the league, and SGA can't be touched with a pillowcase.
Yeah.
It was extremely frustrating. I think if we have refs from 5 years ago, it is a 2-2 series heading back to Oklahoma City. That's just and here's the thing, they're kind of, I mean, it's obvious when it's a bad call, but it's not like you can look up the stat line and go, oh, it was terrible, because you can't. But they are very strategic, momentum-killing foul calls. I mean, it would happen at the absolute worst time. They know what they're doing. I'm done with this series. We're putting it to bed. Thunder win in 4. Luke, I'm going to let you take over hosting the NBA. I don't have that much ball knowledge. I will pitch in for each series, though. Go ahead.
All right, so the Lakers are going to end up playing Game 5. The Rockets ended up winning, kind of keeping the Lakers in 5 prophecy alive. I think Reeves is about to come back. Is that not right, Chase?
Yes.
So
Reeves is about to come back. Doncic, they're not sure yet. How he went over to Europe to get stem injections. I think the process is going a little bit slower than what they would have liked. He's still anticipated back sometime in round 2, but Reeves is like in the next couple games. He was a game time decision last game in Game 4. Don't know if he'll play tomorrow in Game 5, but
playing in Game 5.
Yeah, he's back. He's ready to go. They've already ramped him up. Luka is not, but I mean, really, for this series, I mean, I think you can agree with me. We're seeing a flashback of what LeBron used to be. I mean, the way he closed out Game 3, that was absolutely phenomenal. I know that Will is a big LeBron hater, but I mean, it was just phenomenal to see. Well, the Lakers are down 6 points. LeBron gets a steal, hits a 3 to tie it. I mean, it was crazy scenes. But I will say Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard, have been the two biggest players for the Lakers in this series. They've been playing great, and the Rockets, man, Şengün's going to have to be efficient, and they need KD back as soon as possible if they want to make this a series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if KD's coming back for their next game, but if he does,
He's
and
not.
Reeves does, okay, well then they're going to lose in 5. I don't know. I thought this Rockets team coming into the year would be a lot better, but then the Fred
Me too.
VanVleet injury really derailed them, and people really
Yeah.
undervalued it.
Lakers on 5 because that's what the NBA wants.
Yes. All right, and then moving on to the Nuggets and Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards knee imploded. He's going to be out for like 2 to 3 weeks. I honestly think the Nuggets are going to be able to complete this 3-1 comeback because there's no way the Timberwolves are going to have Ayo Dosunmu drop 43 points off the bench like he did when Ant originally got hurt. Jokic played phenomenal last night. He had, I think it was 27, 12, and 17 to lead them for a win. And I think the Nuggets
They dominated.
back. Yeah, I think they're going to end up coming back because if you look at what Jokic has done in this series, percentage-wise, in all the games they've lost, they've shot, him and Murray have just shot abysmal from the field. So I really don't see how they can end up losing this with no Anthony Edwards because, I mean, who's their second option? Randall?
Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels, which the confidence is great, but I just don't really see how they can carry them to a playoff win.
Agreed.
So, got anything?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay. Moving on, we got.
Oh, well, my bad. Sorry.
fuck.
Nuggets. Yeah, Nuggets.
Yeah,
Nuggets.
I forgot I was supposed to.
Nuggets in 7.
Yeah, Nuggets 7.
Then we got the Spurs. I think
Spurs
they're
at 5.
playing right now against the Trailblazers. It's obviously in San Antonio, so I do think they kind of close this out, even though they don't have Wemby. I don't know how long Wemby's going to be out though, so it'll be interesting to see if he'll be back for the first game of the semis. But I think I called it before the start of the series that the Blazers are going to steal one off of the Israeli guy dropping like 40. And yeah, thank you. So, but I mean, Dylan Harper I think has looked really good in this series too, along with Vassell played really well last game. So I do think they have enough to at least win tonight since they're at home. But
well, and I will say Wemby looked fantastic in Game 4 too. Coming off that concussion, so I don't know if he's playing in Game 5 tonight, but he looked great. I guess that was Sunday.
Yeah.
He looked phenomenal. They're just so much better when he's on the court. He just provides he's just such a big guy that it's hard to score on him. It's just incredible. So, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is. I mean, he's 7'5". You can't get in the paint on him. He's actually pretty strong, so it's hard to back him down. And they just do so much defensively where they just allow him to block shots. And then on the offensive end, like Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, they've been great. I mean, I will say Donovan Kilgan and Denny Avdia have actually been really good for the Blazers, and Drew Holiday obviously is going to show up in the playoffs, but I think the Spurs get in 5.
Blazers in 7.
I love it. All right, moving on to the Eastern side. We got the kind of the shocker of the playoffs, in my opinion, and I don't care who called what, but I just want to say the Pistons #1 seed down 3-1 to Orlando, and if like Cade Cunningham looked terrible yesterday.
Preseason, baby, come on.
And also
play that song.
Yeah, if you're Orlando Magic. But also, if you're the Pistons, it's Duran's contract year, and he has looked so bad in the playoffs. So like, it'll be. I don't think the Pistons. I think this will go to 6. I don't think the Magic will win in 5. I think they'll win it back in Game 6. But it's kind of like it's kind of like the Edmonton series with if the Pistons are able to get it to 7 somehow, they're winning. But they have to win that Game 6 in Orlando. I think they can win at home because I do think they will finally have a game where they show why they're the #1 seed. I think they'll be able to force 6. It's whether or not they're able to go to Orlando and win. Now, I do think it's Orlando in 6, but yeah. Anything, Chase?
I'm honestly not super surprised because of how well the Magic closed the season. They're just red hot right now. And I do think that the Pistons, I mean, it's showing that they haven't been in the playoffs before, that this is a young, inexperienced group. Cade Cunningham, I mean, he's their only source of offense, and he has not played super well. This Magic team, they're keeping the score low. They're playing great defense. Their shot making hasn't been elite either, but they're playing better basketball than the Pistons. I think the Magic go get it done, and they get a gentleman's sweep 4-1.
Yeah, and I mean Franz Wagner's been playing really well for them too.
Fantastic.
And also, it's the Jaden Ivey curse. He
Yep.
called it. The Pistons would not be there on Judgment Day, and he has essentially cursed them for this playoff run.
Magic in 5.
But okay, moving on, we got the 4-5 matchup, which
Heating it up, man.
yeah, I mean it's 2-2, all tied up, heading back to Cleveland. The Raptors won in like the most ugly, gritty fashion. I think these teams shot like 30% from the field each in game 4, which I had.
It was rough.
Yeah, I had the Raptors in 7. I turned it on, and I think I missed I saw like 5 straight possessions of like just missed shots like from both teams. It was incredibly bad. But I mean, that's the kind of game I think the Raptors want to play. They want to play the lower scoring defensive game because I think Cleveland excels more offensively with Harden, Mitchell, and all that. But I'm going to still roll with my pick before this, and I'm going to have Raptors in 7. I think this is a 7-game series just because I do think the home team will win every time. Outside of, obviously, I think Game 7 will go to the Raptors. So, Will?
Raptors in 7, man. I'm a believer. Scotty Barnes, game winner.
All right, Chase.
Nah, I think the Cavs got it in 7. I think the home team's going to win every single game. Home court advantage is really good up north in Toronto, but I think the same can be said about Cleveland. I got the Cavs moving on in 7.
All right, and then
Hawks in 6. Move on. I'm just kidding.
No,
No.
no, you're good. Then moving on, we got the Knicks and the Hawks. It's 2-2 right now. I think the Knicks are, last time I checked, like 10 minutes ago, they were up like 25 or something on the Hawks.
Yep.
They were absolutely destroying them. So, I mean,
I'll take that back then.
I do think the Knicks are able to win in 6. I kind of think
17 points right now.
Yeah, I think
No, it's
CJ
actually
McCollum. What do you say, Chase?
It's 16 points.
16. Okay. Well, I think
Yep,
the CJ
16 Knicks are
McCollum
up.
kind of like superhero games, I think they're kind of over. So I do think the Knicks team is obviously one of the best teams talent wise in the East with like their starting lineup and all that. And I just think they're going to be able to pull this out in 6. I don't see Atlanta, especially if they're beating them at home. They're going to want to go. I don't think the Knicks are going to want to go to 7 and have to come off a 7-game series to go play potentially Boston. So
Yeah.
I got them in 6.
Realistically, I've actually got the Knicks in 7. I think they just go home.
Okay. Chase?
I got the Knicks in 6. I think that game 4 was a get-right game for them. Obviously, they came out in game 5 and played a lot better. I think the Knicks win in 6.
And then our final
But I say we do have. It's going to probably be going to game 6. Yes.
yes. So the Celtics and 76ers. The Sixers are winning, what was it, by 8?
They're up by 12 with 2.5 left.
With 2.5 left, which it is the NBA, so anything can happen in this time period because of the offensive production. But it's looking like it's going to be 3-2 Boston. I mean, my only gripe with the Sixers in the last game is how they brought Embiid back. I don't think Embiid should have had near the volume he had because Maxey, I think, only shot 15 times, 14 times, and Embiid shot like 23 times. It was only 9 of 23. I just don't think if you're coming back from injury, you can start him. Obviously, he's a great player. You just cannot take that many shots. You have got to get guys who have been playing and who have been in the flow, play the series, get them the ball. And obviously last game, it didn't help that Edgecombe also did not play very well. So, I mean, I kind of think the Celtics win in 6, but the guard scoring for the Sixers is very intriguing because you have Maxey, you have Edgecombe, you have Paul George. I mean, that lineup is absolutely loaded. And if Embiid gives you 30 one night, you obviously know what you're going to get from Maxey. You're going to get damn near 30. This could easily go to 7. I do think the Celtics end up quieting them in 6, though. So, wait. Nope, it has – yeah, no, in 6. Celtics in 6. Sorry. Frank Paul. Will?
I've actually got the Celtics in 7. I do think we're after obviously it's gonna be 3-2. We're running a little bit of mo from that. You just got a road win. You're not gonna lose from your home fans. I mean, this is a Sixers team that we kind of expected a little bit more out of this year. And beat is back. He's gonna get back into form. But I do like the Celtics winning 7. I do think Jason Tatum has a big game in Game 7 to kind of cement themselves to maybe have a little bit of a playoff run here. Okay.
I think I'm on the same train of thought. I think winning Game 5 was huge. I think Celtics win Game 6, push it to 7. I mean, not Celtics. I think the Sixers win Game 6, push it to 7, where the Celtics ultimately win. But I'm going to disagree with you. I think Jaylen Brown has a big game for the Celtics to beat the 76ers in Game 7.
And we need to speed it up here just because I want to get Luke home in time. We do have a tornado across the river. It's kind of pushing towards us.
Oh, shit.
So we winners and losers from the NFL draft. Obviously, I'm going to say the Cowboys were a winner just because how are we going to let ourselves get Caleb Downs here? I'm not going to break down our picks yet. We have a whole slide to it. Cowboys are a winner. I think the Carolina Panthers drafted really well, guys. And obviously, all the pundits typically agree. I mean, we had Monroe Fielding in the first round. I think it's a great off-the-tackle pick. Lee Hunter from Texas Tech, I think, was a really good steal in the second round at D-tackle. And then y'all know why I really, 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 really love that third-round pick from the Carolina Panthers. Chris Brazzell, dude, the second. They got a dog in the third round, Carolina did. So give me the Panthers. Again, our power is now flickering in and out, so I'm going to start rapid-firing this. The Raiders, I think, had an absolutely unbelievable draft. One, they got their quarterback. And side note, they did sign Sawyer Robertson to a deal, which I think is a big deal because I do think he's a good quarterback. I think that could be kind of a Brock Purdy-like situation maybe in a couple of years. Keep an eye on it. But they did well outside of that. I think Kieran Crawford was a great pick in the third round. I think Trey Zune III was a great pick in the third round. I think Tremont McCoy, if he can get healthy, was an absolute steal in the fourth from the Raiders. So I have the Raiders as a winner. My not winners, my big fat losers. We're going to start out with the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. I didn't like their pick. I think they reached a little bit on Jadarian Price. Yeah, they needed a running back. They felt a need. Just think it was a little bit of a reach. Didn't think you had to take him in round 1. Bud Clark's a good pick for me, and I just don't like what they did in the middle of the draft here with Bo Stevens, Manuel Henderson Jr., and Andre Fuller. I thought there were other guys in that position room that were better available at the time. However, they could completely prove me wrong, as I'm sure they will. The 49ers, I thought, had a pretty poor draft. And that's my computer cutting out. But I thought the 49ers had a pretty poor draft. If someone can somehow take over the slides sharing, that would be great. I don't know if that's going to be available. But that power trip just fucked up that receptor. So I think the 49ers had a poor draft, and I think the Jaguars had a poor draft. Luke, go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously Cowboys, I think, are a big winner. They got Caleb Downs. They got a really big boost in their secondary. The Eagles, which I hate, I'll share. Which I hate that the Eagles had a good draft, but they have a really good GM, so they ended up having a very good draft. And then I thought the Jets. Well, I want to highlight one Eagles pick. I love that they screwed. I can't believe we did it, but I love that they screwed Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. And then the D tackle or offensive tackle they took that's never played football.
D tackle from Nigeria.
Yeah, dude's a freak athlete. He's got like 7% body fat. That's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. But I thought they had a pretty good draft.
I love that pick.
Yeah, no, that is the Eagles did it with Jordan Mailata already, so I do think they definitely can do it again. The Jets, I kind of thought their first pick with Bailey, was it Bailey?
Yeah, David Bailey.
Thank you, Bailey. I didn't really think he was 2, but I mean, I thought they had a great draft. Otherwise, I mean, I love Sadiq. They got D'Angelo Pons from Indiana, along with Cooper from Indiana, which I love D'Angelo Pons. I mean, you take a chance on a guy like Cade Cubnick, who was this high blue chip recruit.
I think that's a better pick than a lot of people are giving him credit for.
Yes, because I mean, you got to think they don't really have a quarterback. Why not take a chance on one of these late round guys that can do? Because like we all as Cowboy fans, Dak was like a 5th round pick or something.
Fourth round
pick. I mean, he was not a high quality or tier draft pick at quarterback position. So yeah, the Jets are going to round out my winners. The Packers, I did not think had a very good draft. I just they didn't have a first round pick, so that's kind of why they drafted a kicker, which in the 6th round, which you really never see.
They need a kicker, though.
I know. I know.
And by the way, I know Trace Mack is a dog. If anyone deserved to get drafted out of the specialist room, it was Trace Mack. He is an absolute animal. That was actually, I'm going to counter you on that. I think that is a great pick by the Green Bay Packers, and I'm sure Chase knows who Trace Mack is and could absolutely agree with that.
Dog.
Yeah. Y'all are specialists. I was just putting them there because they drafted a kicker. So, which is
and who lost in their playoff game?
Oh yeah, it was the kicker, but still, you usually don't see kickers get drafted. That's essentially the point I'm making. And screw the Packers. Then fuck the Packers. The Rams. I mean, you're in like win now mode, and you take an absolute project, which I mean, it's
that pick is atrocious. I mean, my god,
I could.
In the first round, dude, he was going to be there in round 3. Let's be honest with ourselves.
So, like, I don't understand why you take him there because you're win now mode. I get if you would have taken him later on because you can develop him behind Stafford. It's a really good quarterback to develop after. I just don't get that there at the 13th overall pick. And then Max Clare, he was on my bus board, and they took him in the 2nd round in an already absolutely loaded tight end room. I did not really get what the Rams were trying to accomplish. And then I got the Jags. I also thought they reached on a tight end, taking the guy out of A&M, and they did not really feel a need with one of their higher draft picks, so that is why they're my last loser.
Michael had the Ravens, Browns, Raiders as his winners, and Niners, Rams, Bengals as his losers. Chaser, who were your winners and losers?
I'm obviously going to start off with the Cowboys. I thought this was the best Cowboys draft since the Micah Parsons draft, so that was like 2017 or 2018. I thought we killed it. I thought we've had a fantastic offseason in general, but I thought Jerry did a great job. I mean, looking what we did, we traded back 3 spots in the end of round 1, and we got 2 4th-round draft picks, and we traded up a spot, to go get Caleb Downs, and we gave up 2 5ths. So, I mean, if you look at it, we got Caleb Downs, and we got 2 4th-round guys, and I actually liked all of our picks. I know Malachi, and we'll get into it on the next page, but I really thought we had a really well draft. And then Carolina, I thought kicked ass in the draft. I didn't think that they really reached on anything too much. I think Lee Hunter in the 2nd round and Chris. I mean, we were talking about Chris Brazel being, somebody that
could go in round 2,
but I know he should have gone in 2. So get him in. I mean, that helps out Bryce Young a ton. I think he will add a deep threat to an already solid Panthers offense. And then I think Will Lee, I'm a Texas guy, but Will Lee is an absolute dog out of Texas A&M. So I felt like, they drafted really well. And if you look, there's these guys I've been looking at it. They look at like the reach versus steal grades. The Panthers had the best steal grade out of everybody by like 15 points. So I thought Carolina absolutely killed it in the draft. And then lastly, one that kind of went under the radar because they didn't have a 1st-round pick was Buffalo. I thought Buffalo actually drafted really well. I think TJ Parker's a guy to get in the 2nd round. He was a 1st-round talent. I think that was pretty good. And then I know probably Luke knows a little bit about him, but Davidson Igambina's son from Ohio State's really good. And I really liked the wide receiver out of UConn, Skylar Bell, as well. So I think that they got better in the draft as well, didn't reach on a ton. So I like what the Bills did, considering where they were drafting and everything like that. Now, the teams I thought lost, I thought that the Texans, considering what they needed to go get, didn't get that much better. They took Keelan Rutledge, and I know he's good. But they needed to go get a center, and they went and got a right guard. And I think he'll probably translate and be fine, but not the best draft pick, in my opinion, to go in round 1. I just don't think he'll pan out there. Then in round 2, like, their defensive line is one of the best in football, and they go get a D tackle to shore that up, but that wasn't really like a position of need. Especially at 36, there were some better players on the board, and they took Caden McDonald. Wasn't really thrilled with that. And then Marlon Klein out of Michigan. Luke, I want to hear your take on this. Do you think he's a 2nd-round draft pick, or?
Thought he was going to be a 3rd or 4th. I think he's a really good tight end, but I didn't think he was as high.
I think 2 is a massive reach.
Yeah, because he got taken by the Texans, right?
Yeah,
especially since they have
Texans.
So like, I really didn't
exactly
really get that.
I'm not, and they have Cade Stover too. and to take that in round 2, like, there was a lot better players left on the board. Then, I think taking Wade Wooders in the 5th was fine, but they already have a really good linebacker room. And I felt like they really needed to heavily address the O-line with their top couple picks, and they didn't really do that. I didn't think they got CJ Stroud enough protection, so was kind of surprised with how they went about, their draft, considering that they didn't really get any super big signings in free agency on that O-line. And then my second one, I thought the Steelers, and their
No,
picks
I
weren't
agree. I
bad
agree with you.
necessarily.
I thought they flopped.
But I just think the fact that they got deked so bad and like Mikhail Linneman was obviously their guy, and they end up taking the tackle Ian Nashor from Arizona State. One, he's not necessarily proven, and he's like his stats are good and everything, but like I said, like we talked about, the Big 12 was not the hot spot for NFL talent this year, and he got beat a couple times. I mean, it just didn't scream like a great pick for the Steelers. I did like the Jeremy Bernard pick, but then taking Drew Aller in the 3rd round, I just thought there was better quarterbacks available. Like, I would have taken Kay Klubnik over Drew Aller. Drew Aller was not a guy, like, I know that he has the metrics and everybody believes in him, but I mean, he's like a Garrett Nussmeier for me. I mean, he got benched and we're taking him with our 3rd round pick. I didn't like the pick. I didn't like really what they did. But I did like the Eli Heidenreich pick from Navy. I think that was the steal of the draft in round
good.
7.
He is so good.
Dude, he torches
So
Memphis
maybe
every
that
time.
rights the wrong for me, but I just felt like they got absolutely embarrassed in the 1st round, especially when you have the draft at home. Just despicable. But lastly, I'm only going to talk about one pick here because I didn't feel like the rest of the Rams draft was anything different than what they've done in the past. But taking Ty Simpson at 13th, trading up to take Ty Simpson just is insane. I felt like Ty Simpson probably would have been there in the 2nd round. Like I felt like they probably could have gotten Ty Simpson without having to move up. And then on top of it, I don't think Ty Simpson is the guy. You saw it on Sean McVay's face, and yes, they're covering it up and everything, but I don't think that's Sean McVay's guy. And I think, it more had to do with the relationship between the GM and Ty Simpson's dad. And I didn't love the pick. This is a team that was in contention for the Super Bowl, made a NFC Championship game. Like, we're a game away and lost to a good Seahawks team, but they played well. And you're gonna sell that to your locker room that we're a game away from going to the Super Bowl with an MVP quarterback, and then the next year in the draft, in the 1st round, we trade up to take a quarterback who wasn't even proven in college, who started for a year and only played really 6 good games. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I think it's an idiotic pick, and I think this is going to hurt the Rams for a long time, and they're really going to regret this draft.
Right. Batteries running low everywhere, so let's keep this quick. A pluses all across the board on Caleb Downs for everybody. I mean, guys, I think he was the pick of the draft, and we got him at 11. I feel like y'all both all agree with that.
Best player in the draft.
Malachi Lawrence, I gave him a B. The producer gave him a B plus. I think he has a lot of upside. Injuries concern me a little bit. But he's got good length and he's got good speed, and that's exactly what we need from an edge. Also, we have historically drafted well on the defensive line. So I'm going to give us the benefit of the doubt there. And what do y'all think about Malachi?
Yeah, no, I think he's going to be a great pass rusher. The only reason he's a B minus is just because of the injury concern.
Which we have had issues with him
yes.
past.
So I like, which our edge room is loaded this year, but he could be a really good 3rd down, go get the quarterback type of guy. So I hope he is, but that's why he's only B minus.
Chaser.
I think he's a freak athlete. We need more of this on the defensive side. Obviously, didn't know a ton about him going into the draft. The more research I've done on him and everything, I'm really impressed with this guy. I mean, he has great get-off speed. He has nice pass rush moves. And I think the fact is that we have his D-line coach from UCF. If he was willing to go and put his career on the line to say, hey, this is our guy, and the Cowboys believe in him, I think we got a guy. I believe in it. I think they see something that they like, and I think he could be the next great Lawrence in Dallas.
Yeah, we got to pick this up. We are very close to losing power. Are you seeing our lights flicker?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure. This is nuts. I've never had it happen this many times and keep on.
Yes, I know.
Which is kind of crazy. Jason Barham, dude, he headbutted a ref. So automatically upgraded him from a C plus to a B minus for me. We need that kind of dog in our defensive lineman. The only reason he honestly is a B minus, I like all of his metrics. To be honest with you, I like his stats and I like his athleticism. He came from Michigan. We have a history of drafting poorly from Michigan. So I don't know what kind of scout we have out there at Michigan. That's my only hesitancy with it, and which is so niche, but it's also so Cowboys. You got to read into these kind of trends. B minus for me. Michael has a B. Yeah, y'all are big on him though.
Yeah, no, I like his versatility because he played middle linebacker because he played at Maryland.
We need versatility on defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think with how I wouldn't say how much weaker our linebacking core is compared to like say we have Van Der Esch and all of them. I think it's a good piece you can have. I mean, we obviously got Overshown, and who was the dude for the Niners we just traded for?
Oh, Chase, you got to know this.
Oh, I'm blanking on his name now. Hold on.
Anyways.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Good.
Keep talking,
good
I'll look it up.
Yeah. So we got those two, and then you can obviously always throw Barham in at linebacker because he played first half of this year, and he shows the ability to play
D.
off
Winters.
the edge.
D. Winters, good pickup. Yeah.
Okay. So I
Great
like the
pickup.
versatility there. He's a good athlete. He started his career at Maryland, so maybe the Michigan curse won't come into effect.
Dave?
So, yeah.
Chase, you like him as well. A minus.
I loved him. It's the versatility. I mean, I think we saw more out of him as an edge at Michigan, but the fact is, like, when he played linebacker, he's super physical too. This is a guy that is not afraid to hit, super physical. He's really strong, really explosive. I think that, we have had issues from Michigan in the past, but this guy's a dog. I think where we picked him, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue, because he fits the type of player that I think Christian Parker wants on his defense. I mean, he's explosive, physical, fast, versatile. And, when you got D. Winters and Overshown, I mean, this is a guy that you can throw in at outside linebacker. He can play Mike, and he can also play edge. So I think this is a great pickup just off the versatility.
The producer gave it a B plus. We all gave him Bs. Drew Shelton, the 4th round pick. One, I love where he got him. He's a 6'5", 300-pound offensive lineman out of the Big Ten guys. One, I love Big Ten offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Two, his length is incredible. And third, I like tackle depth. We develop offensive linemen pretty well when we don't just rush them in there. And I do think we need help at tackle. So I think this is a very solid pick. That's why I get to B for me. Luke and Chase.
Yeah, Penn State had a really good offensive line, and I mean, why not? I mean, Terrence Steele, I don't think is like the greatest thing in the world. Obviously, Guyton still got some stuff to prove, so this could be a really good pick in the future.
Oh, 100%. Chaser.
Fantastic depth, and I think with our injuries on the O-line, I do think he sees some action this year, and I actually like his size a lot. I think it was a good value pick right here. Nothing to knock your socks off, not like a crazy steal, but I do think this is a good guy, and I think that, considering how well we develop O-linemen, I think he's going to be a good pick.
100%. Also in the 4th round, 2 picks later, we got, I think, a solid pick out of Devin Moore. He's got some length. He's 6'3", a little bit lighter at around like 200 pounds, but I mean, for being 6'3", not a huge interception guy, but he did have 35 tackles this past season. I think that's crucial that we get some decent coverage that can tackle. Do I think he's going to be an immediate impact player? Probably not. But then again, with our secondary, he could be. Yeah. So, I mean, I like this pick. That's why I gave it a B+. Mike gave it a B. Jason, Luke, y'all are definitely higher on this than me.
Yeah, no, I think corner was definitely our biggest need by far in this draft. And
I think we got a good guy.
Yeah, I think we got someone. He's obviously taller, which I like taller corners, and you need corners that can tackle. Trayvon Diggs could not tackle. So he was an interception guy, but he could not tackle. And you could literally just throw a flat right out to the running back. He'd be playing the flat, and he would come up and absolutely whiff on the tackle. Tackling is super important on defense. That's how you stop people. So I love the pick.
Chaser.
Devin Moore is a guy that we watched, and he covered Ryan Wingo extensively against Texas. And I remember thinking, like, man, this guy's really good. He's a good cover corner. His stats don't jump out to you because he's not a big interception guy. But if you look at his passes defended and just they wouldn't throw his direction a lot. Florida had a great defense, and it was largely in part of him. He was a really good cover corner. His speed definitely concerns me a little bit. Not great top-end speed, which is why I think he fell so far as he did. But I do think he's a really good tackler and a really good cover corner, and I think he's going to help us out, especially with the size and length. And if we can figure out how to use him right in our defense, I don't think the speed is going to matter as much. And I think he could be a big-time player for us.
our third fourth-round pick was LT Overton. Michael has a B+. Dude, I almost had this as an A+. And here's why. Another huge dude. He is 6'5", 278. He has great speed. And if you look at his stats composite-wise from an edge, okay, 40 tackles. Good season. Not great. But look at his game log, and I want you to notice what stands out here. What games did he perform the best in? At Georgia, at Missouri, LSU, Indiana in the playoffs. 7 tackles against Indiana, 6 against Georgia, 6 against Missouri, only 2 against LSU, but he had a sack. Ended up being a big sack, and he had a sack and a half against Missouri. I mean, he shows up in the moment. He is an elite presence on the edge. I think he also could be kind of like a rover, maybe spear in terms of like Troy, conversation, kind of like a half edge, half backer. He is going to be versatile, and he's big, and I love size on the defensive line. No homo. Pause. So I get this an A. Luke, I think you kind of agree here.
Yeah, I'm also going to agree because I remember watching the Georgia game and the Indiana game, and I'm not going to lie. I do know it's 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember him being an absolute game wrecker and blowing up that Indiana offensive line that for the large part of that game, or the whole part of that game, absolutely dominated. So I'm going to give it an A.
Oh, he feasted.
Yeah.
Feasted. Chaser. B+.
I agree with y'all. I think this is a fantastic pick. The only reason I didn't give it an A is because he's largely unproven, like you said. Has shown up in the big games, but is pretty unproven and is still pretty raw. But I love the size. I love the speed. I think he's going to do well for us. And if we can develop him right, I think this could be a really good pick for us as well. So, like I said, I really love this draft in general.
Yeah, I do, especially with our 7th-round pick, man. We got Anthony Smith out of ECU, a little slept on G5 receiver. I gave him a C+. Michael gave him a C. One reason I'm big on him is because I abused him in our American Athletic Conference dynasty that I was in with Michael and Chuck. I was ECU. Big guys, this dude had 64 receptions for 1,053 yards and 7 touchdowns. I mean, no slack. 6'3", 189. I do think he has solid speed. I just, the only reason he's a C+ for me is I just don't think we needed to draft a receiver. That's kind of it, especially after we go sign Marquez Valdez-Scantling 2 days later. So I just don't.
Oh, I completely.
Yeah, I just don't think we needed a receiver. Chase.
Yeah, that's why I gave it a C too. I mean, he's a good football player. There's no question. But unfortunately, I think this is more of a practice squad special teams guy in his first year. Just because I feel like out of all our groups on the field, I would say that wide receiver we have the most depth at out of anything, especially with signing MVS. I mean, he'll be a wide receiver 6, wide receiver 7. And I mean, unless he can do something pretty big, I mean, that's a practice squad guy or a special teams guy. So unfortunately, I didn't see real value in this pick.
Luke, you're a little bit bigger.
I would say I completely forgot about the Scantling pickup. So I would probably put it at a C because we literally went out and put Scantley, who I think is kind of your deep threat guy, which he was more of a deep threat guy at ECU. So I'm going to move my rating back to a C.
All right. Picking it up. Champion League semifinal picks. I've got Bayern and Atletico. Bayern over PSG, Atletico over Arsenal. Luke, who do you got?
I don't know who this is.
You've got PSG and Atletico.
Yes.
Michael. Yeah. Michael's got Bayern and Atletico. Chase.
So today I will say that this is for both legs, but PSG Bayern ended in that 5-4 game, one of the best soccer games I think I've ever seen. I'm still rolling with my pick though, Bayern Munich. They looked great today. PSG got I'd say a pretty controversial penalty. The game would have tied 4-4 going back to Bayern Munich. So I think Bayern Munich gets it done at home. Michael Olise, Harry Kane, Lucho Diaz have been absolutely phenomenal up top, and Musiala coming back for Bayern has been great. But no slight to PSG. PSG has been great too, but I think we see a lot more goals in the second leg. This is going to be one of the ties we talk about for a really long time in the soccer world. Probably one of the best games of soccer I think I've ever seen in my life today. But I'm going to roll with Bayern Munich to win at home and go through to the Champions League final.
All right.
My fault. I forgot to do the Atletico.
He picked
one.
Atletico.
And then Atletico Madrid, Arsenal. I'm kind of surprised that everybody picked Atletico, but I just think Arsenal's been bottling too many games this
Yeah, I
year.
mean, it was
Too,
so
I mean,
duh.
they're second again. There's something about Atletico this year in the Champions League. Like, it's just Diego Simeone's time to be in a final and potentially win. He deserves it. One of the iconic coaches. Arsenal, they got to worry about the Premier League title race going on too. They're going to have to play their best team out. They're not going to get to rest. They have to play their best team in the Premier League and the best team in the Champions League. They already have a lot of injury issues, have not been playing great football over the last couple of weeks. I think Atletico Madrid gets it done. It's going to be the absolute antithesis of today's game. It's going to be some terrible soccer to watch tomorrow, but I do think Atletico comes out ahead.
Quickly, our MLB power rankings. Braves have been hitting the cover of the ball. I've got them 1. Dodgers are still probably the best team in baseball. I've got them 2. Padres are still very impressive. I've got them 3. Yankees are coming along 4. And then the Cubs are the hottest team in baseball. So I've got them at 5.
I've got the Dodgers at 1. Obviously, they're the Dodgers. Screwed Dalton Rushing, though. The Braves have been absolutely killing baseball. Mason Miller finally let up a run. That's why the Padres are at 3. I got the Reds, who are – I'm not putting the Cubs on here. They could be the best team in the world. I'm not putting them on here. So the Reds are leading the NL Central. They're going to be my 4. And then the Yankees are 9-1 in their last 10. They're going to slide in at the 5 slot.
Chaser.
I got the Braves. I think the Braves' offense has been the best in baseball. Their pitching has been pretty solid too. Their run differential is absolutely absurd. This Braves team is red hot and on fire. Same with the Padres. Padres just don't lose. They honestly have not been hitting for a ton of power, but the depth has been great. The star power, you got to expect it to pick up. Tatis has the highest percentage of hard hit balls, but he just can't elevate right now. He has a 62% hard hit ball percentage right now, which is absurd. You got to think that the home runs are coming with that. He'll eventually elevate fastballs, tinkering with mechanics. Machado's coming on a little bit as of lately, Merrill too. So you got to expect that the Padres will, get back to some power numbers. But the fact is, they're still winning a bunch of ball games. And outside of that second game in Mexico City, the bullpen's been great. Starting pitching's been solid. So I'd really like the San Diego team. Dodgers are going to dodge it. They're at 3. Haven't been playing great baseball, but they have the best roster in the sport by a mile. Have the best player in the sport with Otani. Max Muncy's actually been playing really good this season too. So give shout out to Max Muncy. Absolutely hate him, but Dodgers have looked great. Still like the Yankees coming out of the AL. The AL is definitely down, but this Yankees team is very good. Jazz Chisholm had a great week last week, kind of heating up, and Aaron Judge is going to be Aaron Judge. And lastly, the Cubs have been absolutely red hot too until they ran into the Padres. But Cubs had one win straight until last night when the Padres beat them. But I still really like this Cubs roster too. Very good team. So that's my MLB
I
power
hate putting the
rankings.
Cubs on there too, but it is what it is. Duties for April 20th to 26th. Spencer Torkelson, dude, had a hell of a week. 409 average, 480 OBP, 1.227 slugging percentage, and 5 dingers for the Tiger. Spencer, you're my duty of the week. Luke, Cardinals, baby. Hey, they're giving you a reason.
Yes, as long as they continue to give me a reason, I will pick a Cardinals player. Nathan Church, who I honestly thought was almost going to get sent down because of how bad he had been playing, proceeds to go out and hit 348, steal on base 360 with a 230 OPS and 4 bombs, which him and Weatherholt could have easily been here too, have been absolutely ripping the cover off the baseball. They've been hitting for power. It's great to see from one of the other Cardinal rookies.
And then Chaser, I love this pick. I was flip flopping.
Munetaka Murakami, the South Side Samurai, known for his power, has been raking. 323 average last week, 364 OBP, over 1,000 OPS, and 4 bombs. He has been hitting the piss out of the baseball up there on the South Side. Not a lot, if I'm a White Sox fan, not a lot to be super excited about, but I don't know how 29 other MLB teams passed on this guy because Murakami is a dog. And I know they were worried about the contact numbers, but man, this dude can just rake.
All right. Swiss Army 5, top 5 FIFA World Cup 2026 jerseys. Number 1 are the Uruguay I believe they're the aways. It's kind of like a mosaic blue with the navy. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. My number 2 are the USA homes with the stars, with the stripes, not the stars, excuse me, those are the aways.
Dude.
The stripes are absolutely gorgeous, guys. I mean, it's an awesome homage to our flag. Number 3 is Korea. These purple floral jerseys for them absolutely do it for me. I love these. Number 4 is Canada. I think Canada's are being slept on completely. There's an outline of the maple leaf, different colors, shades of reds. I think it's being slept on. I've got them at number 4. And then absolutely being slept on is number 5, any England jersey, home or away. I just took the home. I think the whites are clean. There's so many little details in this jersey. And then the Three Lions patch is the best of all of football. So give me England at 5. Luke.
So USA, I'm obviously homing. The USA homes are going to be my number 1. My number 2 are going to be the Brazil homes. I think it's a very classic. It's the really good soccer Pele. Like that's all I kind of imagine. I don't know what I saw him in, but that's what I imagine when I see that jersey or Neymar. My number 3 are going to be the Netherlands.
You know, ball.
Yeah, hey, I try. Are going to be, or it's the Norway. Excuse me, the Norway aways. The all black is so cool. I mean, it is just awesome. So I think it looks super sick for a soccer uniform. My number 4 is going to be Germany. The Germany homes. I think that's just kind of a more classic because I've been watching the World Cup as of late, and I feel like I always see their jerseys. They're very clean, the German flag on the neck. And then I'm going to go with the red England aways. I think the red looks very good, and I like the color.
Chaser.
I think that this is the best group of U.S. jerseys that we've ever dropped consecutively. I love the home. It just screams America. The flag design looks sick. I love the gradient on how they put the numbers in too. I love the U.S. home. My second is actually going to be France's away jersey. This one's kind of slept on, but I love the color. It's supposed to be made to look like the Statue of Liberty, but what I love about the patch is it is a gold patch, gold numbering. It looks sick on the field.
Oh, it is sick.
One of my favorite jerseys that I've seen dropped, and just everything looks great on this jersey. And then my third one's actually going to be the Spain away. I think this jersey looks phenomenal on the field. The little details, like from far away, it looks like just a plain cream colored jersey, but when you look at it up close, it has like this beautiful gradient, everything like that. The maroon, the dark red looks great on the jersey. I think it's just an absolute iconic kit. Then my fourth is actually the jersey I have on right now. It's the United States away. I think this one is really slept on, but I love like the darker looking stars on the dark jersey. Yeah, it's like a dark navy with like even darker stars. It looks great on the field. The silver lettering looks great. I love what Nike has done with the US kits this year. And then I had a lot of choices that I could throw in at 5. I love both England's kits, Norway's kits.
Disgusting what you've done,
Germany,
here, by the way.
Brazil.
Disgusting
I
what
think
you've done. Disgusting that you'd even entertain.
And I know I hate this team. I hate Mexico, but it is a beautiful jersey. Mexico is known for their Aztec culture. It's sick. The pattern's sick. It looks great. That green just pops. I hate saying it. I hate Mexico. I hate that entire program. But you know what? They always put out banger jerseys, so I have Mexico's home jersey at 5.
All right, best thing that happened this weekend. Went to Auburn, celebrated the girlfriend's pinning ceremony. Very fun. Got to go out. And it was just a great atmosphere in Auburn. Playoff hockey's been absolutely electric. That's my number 2, except my own team. I've wanted to gouge my eyes out watching the Oilers blow leads night after night. And number 3 was golf. Me, Chloe, and Chuck went and played at Audubon. I played atrociously, but it was just really nice outside, and it was fun. And I only missed 2 fairways and averaged about 290 on my drives. So, Luke.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so UFC with Charlie. The fight card was absolutely god-awful, but I drank a lot. Charlie's kind of done with football until the summer, so it was a great time. Talladega. I watched Talladega this weekend. It was a very entertaining race. So yeah, and then my number 3, I got a date tomorrow, so I won't be able to record, but yeah, I actually have a social life. It's shocking.
It is shocking. I do not.
Let's go.
Chaser.
My uncle came in town last week, and so it was great to see the new Georgia Tech coach in Houston, Texas. We had a good time. Got to take him do a couple things. It was pretty fun. Today, I know it doesn't really count as the weekend, but today I watched the best game of soccer I've ever seen in my life, Bayern Munich versus PSG. And then I also got to see the new Michael Jackson movie. Was great. Would definitely recommend. Great music. Super fun. So I had a great weekend.
Luke tried so hard to make it to the end of the episode. He did. We had a little bit of emergency occur, so that'll do it. I'm about to die laughing. Episode 58 of Missouri Sports.
Let's go.
Let's go,
I
baby.
mean,
Let's go watch some hockey.
happy trails, Luke.
All right. Good night.
Good night, y'all.